Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Troilus and Cressida, and we're going to finish up Act 3 today by hearing from Thersites. We've been in Act 3, Scene 3 for a little while, in which we at least had the idea to broker a trade of Cressida for a Trojan prisoner that the Greeks have, and we sort of saw Ulysses' idea to knock Achilles off of his high horse maybe actually kind of sort of work. Agamemnon and Nestor and Menelaus, all of them were rude and dismissive towards Achilles, which he noticed, and then he and Ulysses had a bit of a conversation where Ulysses was like, hey, first of all, isn't that Ajax great? But also people are very of the now, and if you haven't done anything good for them right now, then you're going to fall out of favor with them. And everybody knows that you're in love with Priam's daughter, and won't it be great when they're all saying like, hooray, he got married, but Ajax beat them. So you get to just sort of deal with that. And then he left, and Achilles now has the idea that in order to fix things and in order to gain some favor back, that after Hector does his little fight with a champion in the field, he's going to invite Hector over for dinner, and he wants Ajax to be the one to deliver that message. So he was going to send Patroclus to get Thersites to get Ajax to deliver that message, but Thersites just came in on his own, and he's crazy. He's walking up and down and he's like saying his own name in the field, like, what is this? And they're like, who are you talking about? He's like, Ajax. He's just calling for himself out in the field. And they're like, what? What is he doing? And Thersites says, why, he stalks up and down like a peacock, astride and a stand. Ruminates like an hostess that hath no arithmetic but her brain to set down her reckoning. Bites his lip with a politic regard, as who should say there were wit in his head and 'twould out, and so there is. But it lies as coldly in him as fire in a flint, which will not show without knocking. The man's undone forever, for if Hector break not his neck in the combat, he'll break it himself in vainglory. He knows not me. I said, good morrow, Ajax, and he replies, thanks, Agamemnon. What think you of this man that takes me for the general? He's grown a very landfish, languageless, a monster, a plague of opinion. A man may wear it on both sides like a leather jerkin. So what he's saying is that their attempts to inflate Ajax's ego have worked, and he's now strutting around the battlefield, calling his own name, looking like the sort of person who may or may not actually be smart, so then everybody automatically thinks that they are smart. But he's like, he's done for either way, because he's either going to die in combat or his head's going to explode from how big his ego got, and he's going to die that way. He's like, I said hello to Ajax earlier, and Ajax called me, Thersites, Agamemnon. So how exactly do you mix up me and Agamemnon? He is very obviously not in his right head. He's completely off his rocker. And Achilles responds by saying, I need you to take him a message. And Thersites is like, should I also take one to his horse? Because that would be more productive. And Achilles shares the message that he wants to send, and Patroclus, there's a weird sort of exchange where you could probably stage it like Patroclus is writing out the message to give to Thersites, to give to Ajax, or you could do it like Patroclus is pretending that Thersites is Ajax and is like saying it to him, because Thersites is just going like, what? As Patroclus is going through the, my honored Hector, we invite you to dinner, bring your train, we'll give you safe passage, from Agamemnon, all that kind of thing. It's a little bit, you could play with that a couple different ways, depending on how you want to stage it. And they decide that they're going to take this message off to Ajax, and Thersites is like, this is a bad idea. This is a very bad idea, and his ego is way too big. In typical, curmudgeonly Thersites fashion. And that's the end of Act 3. So, yeah, we've got some plans in motion that are going the way that they're supposed to. We've still got some lovers that we need to check in on and see how that whole thing's going. We've got an exchange. We have a battle of champions. there's still a lot to go in Acts 4 and 5. So come on back tomorrow for more. I'll see you then. Mwah.